The Sox were involved in the greatest pennant race in history, and carrying a share of that load was 22-year-old right fielder Tony Conigliaro from Swampscott, Massachusetts. Tony had made the hometown team at the tender age of 19 and had homered in his first Fenway at-bat. In 1965, at the age of 20, Tony had led the American League in home runs. His aggressive style had caused him injuries in the past, but he'd always come back. This night would be different. It's Friday night, the Angels are in town, and spitballer Jack Hamilton is on the mound in the fourth inning. Tony is at the plate, he's 1 for 1. Tony hovered over the plate as the fastball rode up and in toward his head.
Tony just froze. He didn't move at all, and the ball just took off and sailed and went right up and hit him. And he went down with a loud thud.
Some people in the park thought the ball had hit his helmet, but Tony's teammates knew better from the awful sound they'd heard.
Something I'll never forget. The only thing I can compare is maybe if somebody had a melon and just threw it on the floor and you'd hear the squash.
You could tell that it wasn't a thick, that it wasn't like a glancing blow or something. You could tell that it had full impact on full meat. But it wasn't like muscle that would absorb the sound of the baseball hitting the body. There was bone there, and that's something that's entirely different.
As the crowd booed Jack Hamilton, Tony was taken off the field on a stretcher. The ball had hit him on the upper cheekbone, fracturing that bone just below the eye socket. When Tony C. hit the dirt that fateful night, he'd hit 20 home runs in 1967. He'd have to wait 2 years for the chance to hit another. Tony Conigliaro always had a flair for the dramatic. His return to the Red Sox in April 1969 was typical Tony C.
Drive to left center, Blair's back, and it is home run for Conigliaro. Oh, boy, what a story. What a story here. And look at him. Look at that boy as he's going into that dugout there.
Tony would have 2 great seasons after his miraculous comeback, but deteriorating eyesight would end his career for good in 1975, leaving us to wonder about the Tony that might have been.
Well, I saw Tony play, and I don't think there's any question that if he'd had a chance to play out a career, that he would have ranked with the home run hitters, all-time home run hitters, I believe. He had a natural pull stroke and hit the ball in the air, which is a pretty great gift to have as far as hitting a baseball is concerned.
I was on my way to hitting a lot of home runs, and I sometimes think, well, maybe I could hit as many home runs as Babe Ruth. It did enter my mind.
Tony would find success in the broadcast booth, but tragedy would strike once again after he auditioned for a job for the Red Sox broadcasting position. Tony suffered a massive heart attack while with his brother Billy in 1982.
I asked Tony a question, and he kind of like flinched a little bit, and I asked him again, and he kind of clenched his fists, and I saw a tear come out of his left eye, and his eyes closed. And I just thought he was having trouble breathing.
Tony would be left comatose, then in need of constant care. Tony C. passed away 8 years later in 1990, just days away from his 45th birthday.
There's a drive by Conigliaro, and it is out of here. What a...
In Tony Conigliaro's short baseball life for the Red Sox, he was one of the greatest they've ever known. But the Tony C. that might have been the greatest that ever played the game. This is Mike Adams, New England Cable News.